Hey gang, so today we are looking at Blackpink's Ice Cream. I know this just came out a couple days ago, so we're going to check it out together. We're going to break it down, look at all the different shots. So before I do that, here's the intro. My name's Paul Leach and I'm a writer-director in Los Angeles. I've been interviewed by such publications as The Huffington Post and the New York Council on Cultural Affairs. I've worked with Emmy winners and Oscar winners, and the feature film that I directed went to Cannes. In this series, we break down footage from the point of view of a film director, and we will stop often to look at shots. If you have not seen this video or this footage before, please go watch the whole thing all the way through, because again, we stop all the time and then come back here and break down the footage together with us. Okay guys, let's check this out. Blackpink Ice Cream, and again, if you have not seen this video, please go watch the video all the way through because we're going to break it down and stop frequently to examine the shots. So let's check it out. Blackpink Ice Cream and action. Okay, two things right off the bat. One is that you notice this aspect ratio here. You have white bars at the top and white bars at the bottom. Typically speaking, I think I would have preferred that to be black, and here's the reason why. Our brains are very interesting because they actually normalize things, and as you go through life, they get used to certain things. And so for instance, I'll give you an example. Like I live in Los Angeles. When I first moved out here, I was like, wow, look at all the palm trees. I drove down the street and I was like, palm trees left and right. All I saw were palm trees. Then after living here for a few years, you don't even see the palm trees. You've just normalized them. They just become very normal. They just don't even register in your mind anymore. So typically speaking, when you have things that are super widescreen like this, it's typically black at the top and black at the bottom. So when we watch those, because we see it so frequently like that, we normalize the black bars so we don't even see them. We focus on the music video. So when you have something like this that's white at the top and the bottom, which isn't necessarily typical all the time, I know they do it sometimes, but it's not as common as black. What happens is you notice them because you're not used to seeing this all the time. And also because this obviously looks very, very bright, it can kind of sometimes be distracting because everything else is white and it's white at the top and the bottom. I think they probably should have chosen to do black at the top and the bottom, but maybe they just thought it'd look brighter, but it could be distracting. Also with this shot here, so you don't see Selena's face, and that's purposeful because what they did, let's check this out, is I think that in marketing, when they shot this, I don't know if they told everyone or knew whether they were going to tell people that the special guest was Selena Gomez. Obviously we do know because they did choose to tell everybody, but when they shot this, they chose to hide her face to start off with. This way that it's a surprise in the next shot. So it's interesting, and it's actually kind of a good idea. They're like, oh, who is this person? And then the next shot we show who this person is. Sorry guys, I'm going a little hoarse today. Next shot. Did you notice the low angle shots that they used right here? Like there, it's a nice low angle shot that's looking up at them. Again, typically in film, what that means is like a god or a hero shot. It means that that person's powerful. In music videos, it's just used for texture. It doesn't really mean anything. It's just used to make things look a little bit different, to provide texture. Also, you notice that this is cutting on the beat a lot, which is actually really nice. They did a really good job in editing. So they're doing a really good job with, so they're doing a lot of, like, so look on Jenny here, they're just mixing up wide shots, mid shots, and close-ups. So here's a mid, close-up, wide, mid, close-up, mid, insert. So they're creating textural differences with that. These are very common shots. So when you take, it's called coverage most of the time, is that when you take shots, you usually do a wide, a mid, and a close-up. They're just taking all the shots and mixing them together, cutting them together on the beat. Good job. Okay, so I get it. So Selena is the ice cream truck driver, and the girls are the kids in the neighborhood. Hold on a sec. So Selena is the ice cream truck driver giving the ice cream out, and the girls are in the neighborhood because like kids because they're riding those bikes and stuff. Yeah, I get it. These are all probably plywood sets. They actually look really good from the front, which kind of adds to the aesthetic because they're kind of cartoony, so it adds kind of to the young aesthetic. Man, these girls are blasted by light. Are any of you getting kind of some innuendos in this song? Maybe it's just me. It's not bad. It's a little surprising. Wait. See what I'm saying? I don't know. I could be wrong. That's cool. So what they're doing here is with all those balloons is that your brain again normalizes things, and so what happens is you get used to things after a while, and so you keep on needing to reintroduce new elements in order to keep your brain interested. So in K-pop videos, or generally in movies, it's different in movies because you have different scenes in terms of drama that's actually going on, which keeps you interested. But in music videos, typically what they do is they add new set pieces. Like something happens, they'll add a new set piece to suddenly wake your brain up and say, hey, here's something new, keep interested. So here they're adding... Did I miss it? Where are the balloons? The balloons. There we go. So two things again. One is that, you know, when I first watched this video, this is my second time watching this through, one thing I realized is that I'm like, they must be in different places because Selena is never in the video with them. And then I watched the making of, and yeah, they were in different places. It's too bad. I think, you know, if COVID hadn't happened, they could all have been together in one place. That would have been really, really cool. But the editor did a pretty good job at like mixing them together. The other thing is here, I just want you to think again about wide shot, mid shot, and close up, and just mixing all these together, and this is what these are. So close up, wide, mid, wide, close up, mid, wide, close up. So you see, they're just taking very typical shots. I watched this, it's kind of comedic. There was this video. It was called 60-Second Directing School. But it was also true. What the guy said, he goes, if you want to be a film director, he goes, oh, this is all you do. You take an establishing shot, a wide shot, a mid shot, and a close up, and then you give it to a good editor. And that was it. It was like 60 seconds. And it was very funny. But it's also somewhat true in a sense that you literally could get a feature film or a music video or anything if those are the only shots you take. These are very, very standard shots, and you're going to see these in this. So we talk about again, there's actually a set change to keep your interest up. Tennis themed, they're wearing tennis outfits. So I want to go back really quickly. So they're doing a lot of, like this one on Selena, they do a lot of, these are either gimbal shots where they turn the camera or it's done on a crane depending on the situation and the space and what kind of equipment that they have. But what you're going to notice is, you know, these kind of shots, typically in TV and film, they actually say something very specific. But again, in pop music or K-pop music videos, they're not actually there to say anything. They're just there to, again, add texture because, again, your brain normalizes normal shots. So in order to keep you stimulated, they try to change things up and add texture. Because the song itself, I mean, not just this song, every song is kind of the same all the way through. It gets a little bit repetitive unless it keeps on getting layered and layered in. So what happens is, to keep your interest, they keep on changing things up a little bit. It's a very good use of texture. Let's get back to where we were before. So there'll probably be, again, another scene change. Here we go. So again, scene changes to keep up the textural differences to keep your interest. Does anyone else think these ice creams look great? Those are probably all custom made. Yeah, pretty cool. So what's cool about these, again, these are probably all cardboard cutouts. So these are, they have them backlit, like there's lights probably on the ground going up at these platforms or these flats. And what they're doing is they're kind of like strobing them, or they're changing the color. So all this all the way back, each one of these can change color. Very, very cool. So you notice that all the girls are in the shot now, so this obviously, oh, it's another scene change, cool. So what's going on is that this is another textual difference. Lisa did her thing, now they're adding all the girls into it, so it's a whole nother set piece. So again, let's keep on adding and adding and adding. I'm assuming these are all on the same soundstage. They probably just built these literally right next to each other. They probably were like, okay, next scene, walk 10 feet over to the right. There we go, saw that. And again, textural differences, they're breaking it up between one shots on her and then group shots so it doesn't get boring. So one shot, four shot, one shot, four shot, one shot, and then back to Selena. Wouldn't it have been cool if she was there? That would have been awesome. You know, I know they couldn't, but that would have been awesome. Yeah, look how bright this is. These girls are just blasted by light. So obviously this lighting is not TV film lighting, and TV film lighting is usually 3-point lighting. And it's not made specifically for beauty shots, just to blast you. The reason why these look so beautiful and that they just light them in the front with diffusers and just blast them in the front is because what happens is what shows imperfections are shadows. So like say I had a, for instance, I have like this kind of imperfection on my face, and then the light hits it and the shadow really accentuates that imperfection, which is true, I do have that. So the thing is that the thing that evens out imperfections is just blasting from the front. It evens everything out, and so that's why it's kind of beauty lighting. Obviously these girls have no imperfections, they don't need that, but this makes everyone look good. It could even make me look good if I had that. Good job. Good lighting. What's cool about this is that these are things you probably wouldn't think about unless you're in production, is that these are very shiny plastic. And so, you know, I told you how much all that light is blasting them? Well, the thing is that you want to reduce the amount of glare right there. And with so much light blasting, it actually you have to really be careful about the way you shoot this so you don't have a lot of glare reflecting off these shiny plastic things. It probably took a little bit of fidgeting around to get it so you don't have all that glare. Okay, and so what they're doing at the end here is typically what you do. You have all these different set pieces that you've built, and added. Then towards the end, what you do is you bring everything back to kind of build up and ramp up the momentum towards the end. Yeah. Cool. This was not what I expected Blackpink, I'll be perfectly honest. Their stuff usually is just so kind of girl crushy, I think is the way they call it. I really liked it though. It's very cute. And it was shot very bright and oversaturated. All their stuff is kind of like that. But the aesthetic was very, there was a lot of continuity in the aesthetic, from the flats in the background to the ice cream truck to like all the little cutesy things that they did, the little kid bikes. It all made sense in terms of everything actually worked together, their outfits. There was a lot of continuity in the production design, the production team, which is really, really cool. And again, you saw a really good example there in this particular video of what we talk about. I don't think I've really talked about that much, of just taking your wide, your mid, and your close-ups and just taking those 3 shots. They just took those and they just cut them. Because what they did is they took several takes of a wide, several takes of a mid, several takes of a close-up, and then you just took different takes. You cut to from the wide to the close-up, then take 2 of the mid, then take 3 of the close-up, then take 4 of the wide. You know, because the camera a lot of times isn't in the exact same place because it's not TV and film, because continuity isn't as important in K-pop music videos. In TV and film, continuity of the shot is very, very important. So with this, you know, you have people like pushing in and out, moving all over. It's almost kind of randomized. And so this way, when you cut back to a 3rd take of the wide, it's probably in a different place than take 2 and take 1. So this way it's a little bit different, which adds different texture. This way you have a lot of different shots to choose from. It's a very good example in this video of just taking your standard shots and cutting together your standard shots very well, which is really good. So anyways, Blackpink's Ice Cream featuring Selena Gomez. You know, it's so funny. I think there was a time that Blackpink, when they're up and coming, when they collabed with other people, it was good for them to collab with other people to get them into the market. Now it's weird. I feel like it's good for the other artists to collab with Blackpink. You know, it's like other artists want to collab with them now so they can get their name out more and gain a whole different audience. It's sort of weird how those tables have turned. But anyways, for Ice Cream, Blackpink, and Selena Gomez, that's a wrap.